Tony Hunter. I'm a professor at the Salk Institute in the Molecular Biology and Cell Biology Laboratory.
My name is Sean Hunter. I'm currently a postdoc at Stanford in Dr. Crystal Minkel's lab. I got my PhD in Dr. Jennifer Cochran's lab, where I collaborated with my dad, Dr. Tony Hunter, a professor at the Salk Institute. I rotated through a number of labs as one does in grad school, and I ended up joining Jennifer Cochran's lab, which is a lab in the bioengineering department at Stanford.
Once he decided to start in her lab, he was looking around for a project. Each student gets a project, sort of basically a protein engineering problem to work on. And he heard Frank McCormick, who at the time was the director of the UCSF Cancer Center, talk about their work on leukemia inhibitory factor, or LIF, in pancreatic cancer. Potentially an interesting target in a hard to treat cancer. And so he called me up one day and said, "Dad, what do you think? Do you think that LIF might be a good project for me?"
Confluence of different events. And so, from that kind of solidified it for me. I said, okay, if it's good enough for Frank McCormick and Tony Hunter, then it's good enough for me. So I decided that this would be a fun project to take on. And so my goal then became developing a new way of inhibiting this cytokine. And so then really the work centered on the design and development of that therapy, and then the subsequent testing. And so there was a lot of involvement from my dad's lab and Yu-Shi in terms of testing this. Yu-Shi had really established this wonderful genetic model of pancreatic cancer that he had used extensively for his work. And so he was able to plug in the drug that I had made into this system and test it. And so that was really the kind of the work coming together, and ultimately what the paper was about, kind of summarizing the development of this new therapy and the characterization in these different models of pancreatic cancer.
It obviously is very exciting to be able to publish a paper with Sean.
Ever since I was really young, I wanted to be a scientist. Both my parents, as I said, are biologists, and so I wanted to be a biologist. I think it was just kind of like, oh, that's what my parents do, that's what I want to do. It's funny, you can go back to find like little assignments I'd written when I was like 5. We were doing this when I was home last, kind of clearing out some old kindergarten work, and it says right there, like, I want to be a scientist, I want to do this. So
for his science project in 8th grade, he generated a model of Gleevec, actually, which has been to my office. It's this model here that is sitting up above the door of my office. Wish him every success as whatever he decides to do in life.